Well, as I always say, Mondays are usually the most boring day starting the week. But however, as usual, I intend to keep your Mondays fun and exciting. So, as always, if you guys are big fans of the Japanese wrestling scene, you're always at the right channel. So today we have, of course, we're going to be reviewing Sareee-ISM Chapter 7. This one features 5 matches. The semi-main event features Sayori Anu stepping in for Natsupoi, who's out on injury, to take on T-Heart's very own Miku Kane. And then, of course, the main event features Sareee taking on Shuri. Now, this is one of those matches where it kind of decides who will be the next person to step up against Mayu Iwatani. So we're going to get to all of that. And then, of course, we move on with ChocoPro number 435, featuring 3 matches. One trios tag team match, and two straight up tag team matches. And then finally, as you probably can guess, we are now entering the semifinal. We're going to see who walks out to join David Finlay in the finals. Will it be Shota Umino or will it be Shingo Takagi? That's going to be a lot of fun to take a look at. And then, of course, we move on with our news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, and what matches are set. But also, there are no developments on this particular part of our news updates. So, we're development free. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to get this show on the road. So let's begin with, of course, with Sareee-ISM Chapter 7. All right, Sareee-ISM Chapter 7. Now, this took place almost earlier this month on the 10th of March in Shinjuku Face. Now, as always, we opened up with Sareee actually doing a promo, greeting the fans, and of course, all this and that. So it was going to be a good show. So let's get started. Our first match, we have Saya taking on Misa Kagura from GTO. Nothing too special about this, but however, Misa Kagura was able to walk away with the win when she applied a lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Yurika Oka and Kohaku. They team up to take on the veterans in the Yoshi world. We're talking about Karu Itu and Jaguar Yokota. So you probably ask yourselves that this match will most likely will go in favor of the veterans since they are highly skilled. And that's exactly what happened. But Kohaku was the one who ended up unfortunately being pancaked by Ito when she gave her a big splash. And just like that, one, two, three, over. Now, our next match, a very interesting tag match. We have Honori Hana. She teams up with Veni, formerly known as Asuka. They take on the current Sendai Girls Junior World Champion Chi Chi and, of course, Dash Shizako. Nothing too interesting about this one. I was like, I mean, Veni is the kind of person who kind of picks her own partners who she trusts the most. Hana is still more of the rookie, basically has least experience. But however, one thing that was interesting, Veni misfired onto Hana when she was about to kick, what's her name, Chi-Chi in the face, but she was able to duck down and Hana got caught in the crossfire. And Dash was able to hold down Veni right in the corner, and just like that, Chi-Chi pinned Hana, and one, two, three, it's over. Now, before our next match, Natsupoi made her appearance. Now, originally, she was supposed to face, of course, Miku Kane as a favor to, of course, to her old mentor, Yumiko Hota. Those who know this, she and Sareee actually trained, and Sareee asked her if she can be in the same ring. But due to the fact of her injury that she obtained in Cork and Hall not too long ago, that that gave her the distinguished that she was not going to be able to participate. But she was grateful that Sayuri Anu was able to step up to do this for her. So basically, you can tell. However, you may question why was she there. Well, it turned out that they gave her a simple job for this match, is to be, of course, ring announcer. So basically, she was surprised about it, and she just made her way to the announcer desk, and just like that, make the announcements. So, of course, the match begins with Miku Kane taking on Saori Ano. Now, Miku Kane, I know she's still on the learning curve, still learning under Hota. So basically, that kind of plays out. But, however, Saori Ano, there is no denying about her expertise. I mean, she has more experience than her combined. But it was, of course, Saudi Anu with the Thames Tendra that allowed her to, of course, pick up the win. Now, I know that Natsupu will get an opportunity against Menkukane down the line. I'm sure there'll be another opportunity once she's healed from injury, and hopefully for the next Sareee-ISM show. Now, our main event, Shuri versus Sareee. Now, many of you ask what's so special about this match. Easy. These are two women who pursued for the IWGP World the Women's World Title. Now, they both have failed in several circumstances against Mayu. So basically, it was more like, okay, who is going to be the one to step up the challenger? Now, it's not like, okay, they made a decision by Stardom's like, hey, we're looking for an opponent for Mayu. No, it's more like, okay, these two ladies have that goal in mind. They want the IWGP Women's title, but the real question is, who is going to be the one to pull it off? And I'm sure you probably can guess that this match, nobody hold any punches. They went all out in this match, but unfortunately, this match ended after a 30-minute time limit draw. So basically, nobody won, nobody lost. But of course, we all know what happened afterwards later on, where of course, Shuri just makes just stakes her claim by challenging Mayu after pinning her during, of course, the finals of the Cinderella tournament. So we all know where that goes. But as for Sareee, I don't know where she's going to go. So I know she's going to be busy with various promotions. Hopefully, she'll get another opportunity to challenge for that belt. But only time will tell. But as of right now, I think we are done with Sareee-ISM. Let's move on with ChocoPro. Okay, ChocoPro number 435. This took place recently on the 15th of March in Ichigaya Square, as usual. Opening up the show, we have Irikane greeting the fans and, of course, giving the info on the matches of the day. Our first match, we have Kaho Hiromi teaming up with the former Asian Dream Tag Team Champions Chi Koshikawa and Sayaka Obihira, or as we just call her Obi because there's two Sayakas in ChocoPro. They take on Nonaka Seto and Shin Dragon, consistent of Shin Suzuki and Shon Chiru. Now, of course, this is a very interesting development how this was going to go. Now, we do know two X factors of this entire matchup. Now, Kaho and Nonaka Seto have a bit of the least experience. Well, Nonaka has like about maybe less than 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. As for Kyle, less than 1 year. So that's kind of like the X factors. Mostly, you might think, okay, one of these two will be the ones to take up the fall because we do know that Chi, Obi, Shin, and Chon, they have more experience than the other two, than their respective partners, and that kind of tells it all. But the real question, who was going to do that? Well, unfortunately, Nona Caseta was the unfortunate one who ended up on the wrong side of the stretch muffler by Chi, and just like that, she had no choice but to tap. Next up, we have Sayaka and Makoto taking on Miya Yatsuba and one half of the Asian Dream Tag Team Champions, Tokiko Kirab. Now, this is a preliminary match for those who don't know this. In the upcoming event with ChocoPro at Tokyo Square in Aitabashi, Makoto and Sayaka will be challenging for the tag team belts. So basically, this is a bit of a momentum for them. But the one thing that's really low is the fact Antonio Honda was not involved in this show, leaving Tokiko to be on her own on this one. And of course, like any other type of match, it was Mia who ended up being taken out by Sayaka and ended up being pinned. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have all the way from setup Jonathan Johnson. He teams up with Masahiro Takanashi, taking on from Gambaria Pros Munatatsu Nakamura and Chris Broke. So basically, you have the guys from CDK now on opposite sides from each other. But of course, it's not easy for Chris and Masa. They don't like teaming up with other people unless if it's with themselves. But they were able to work things out with their partners. I mean, I think Masa trusts Jonathan for obvious reasons. Those who know this, he and Emi Sakura got to move back in Thailand, and that would make absolute sense. But how this was going to go, I mean, I could say that it could go either way. But in the end, it was Chris Brooks who walked away with the win when he applied the praying mantis onto, of course, Johnson. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, for our Jonkin tournament, this ended up winning by none other than Masahiro Takanashi. Just like that, it was over. So, don't know when the next Choco Pro event will is, but we do know the bigger one that they'll have. It's going to happen on the 31st of March in Tokyo Square and Aitabashi. So, hopefully more information comes up for that, and we'll just leave things as it is. So as of right now, let's just end things here and move on with our last and final review, and that is, of course, with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, so we're near the finish line for New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Cup. We have one more match to the final before we get to the finals, and this is another semifinal. This one features Shota Umino versus Shingo Takagi. Now, I want to give you guys my input towards about the last match before we get to when we get to that. So let's start with the non-tournament matches. Our first match, we have Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima taking on Katsuya Murashima and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, of course, this is no surprise for me how this was going to go because Murashima is still the young lion who's going to be the one taking the falls, and he did until, of course, Kojima applied his usual lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have the United Empire, TJP, Jacob Austin Young, Cal Newman, Jeff Cobb, and Great Khan taking on Daiki Nagai, Bolted Oleg, Toto Yano, and El Fantasmo. Now, of course, you know that there's going to be some preliminary on this one due to the fact that TJP probably most likely will challenge for the New Japan World Television title that currently is being held by El Fantasmo. But you ask yourself how this match was going to turn up. Well, it was TJP who picked up the win, building up momentum when he applied the octopus onto Daiki Nagai, and just like that, Nagai had no choice but to tap. Next up, we have TMDK, Hartley Jackson, Rohi Oiwa, and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Tomoaki Hamna and the members of Chaos, Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii. So basically, you don't know what to expect on this one and whatsoever how this was going to go. But however, it was, as you probably can guess, that there is a bit of a, how do I say, Oiwa showing his inner toughness towards Ishii, but it was, who was it? Oh yeah, it was Oiwa with the disc lariat onto Hamna, and just like that, it was over. So most likely we will see a one-on-one match between Ishii and Oiwa. I don't know when, but hopefully we can see it. Our next match, we have just four guys, Taka Michinoku and Yuya Uemura and Taichi taking on the War Dogs, consistent of Drilla Maloney, Sonata, and Finley. Now, of course, we all know the history with the guys with Sonata. As you know, he betrayed Taichi and jumped ship with the War Dogs. But however, this match took a very interesting turn. It ended up with, of course, Sonata with his usual tricks, giving Takamichinoku a low blow, and then giving him, of course, the skull end, and just like that, it was over. Now, I did find out something interesting that you guys don't know. During a post-match comment, of course, Taichi, Uemura, and of course Taka were still in frustration mode at how things have been turning out. But unexpectedly, they were approached by Tanahashi. So he's giving them an opportunity. They say, "We like you to join Hantai." It's like the only reason I want you guys to join is that we're losing fans thanks to the shenanigans of the bull. So he gave us some thought. So Taichi asked him, "Let me get this straight. You need us to join?" And he says, "Yes. I'm not talking about the three of you. I want Doiki too." So Taichi is in that state of mind like he can't believe he's hearing this. Like now the president is asking him to join, saying that we need them. So basically he's giving some thought. But however, he cannot make that decision without Doiki. So whatever they're going to decide, they have to do it very carefully. I'm sure that they feel like things have not gone their way ever since Uemura got back from his injury. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, as always, the war between House of Torture, or should I say the House of Losers, and the War Dogs continue on. We have, of course, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, Ren Narita taking on Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Gate Kid. Now, of course, Gate Kid, as you know, his focus on his young lion brother, of course, Ren Narita. And that's probably what was going on. So you probably can guess fights were happening outside of the ring and all this. But unfortunately, this match ended in a double countout after 7 minutes and 52 seconds. However, during the post match, neither both sides wanted to stop. So you probably can guess how that was going to turn out. But yeah, that's how it turned out. Now, our next match, our semi main event, we have the other members of the House of Torture, F and Dick, Yujiro Takashi, and Evil taking on LIJ's Bushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yoda Now, of course, Evil, as you know, he is considering telling Yoda "Hey, Suji, you dumb idiot, you're not worth anything," saying that he's not meant to be at the top. But of course, as always, we've seen with the House of Torture with the shenanigans. Well, apparently, F and Dick gave Bushi a low blow, then applied a magic killer onto Bushi, and just like that, it was over. But however, Evil tried to send a message to Yoda Tsuji, but it was Tsuji who got the last laugh by giving all three of these idiots a kick in the gonads. Yep, he got Evil, he got Dick, he got Yujiro. So basically, he got the last laugh. And I'm sure Evil is crying in his diapers, you know, that he didn't get the last laugh himself. But of course, he still believes that Tsuji will never make it through. But we'll see. Now, our main event is the New Japan Cup semifinals. Shota Umino and Shingo Takagi. Now, we have witnessed how things have gone with Shota Umino losing one of the most important matches against Great Khan, and now he somehow made it all the way through. But many fans, I believe, were hoping for Shingo Takagi to walk through. And I mean, Shingo put everything in his match. I mean, put every strength that he has to put him down. But Umino refuses to stay down until Shota Umino applied the Northern Light Bomb, and just like that, it was over. However, we all know recently Shota Umino doesn't, of course, stays after winning the match, but he just walks away. However, Geto and David Finlay showed up. Now Finlay believes that he will beat him out and fulfill his destiny, but Shota said he'll promise he'll beat him. Now I want to talk about this real quickly. I have noticed how people are saying that they will not like the idea of Shota Umino if he wins. Now, guys, there's something you guys may have overlooked, and I know a part of me thinks this way. You can say all you want that you may not like Shota Umino winning, but a part of me would think he could win the tournament, but not win the IWGP World Heavyweight title as soon as possible. So you ask yourselves, how would this transition that? We've seen wrestlers who win the New Japan Cup, they don't immediately win the IWGP title right away. I mean, look at Yota Tsuji. He didn't win the belt at all. So he could win the IWGP World Heavyweight title maybe in a year or two. And I think that could happen with Shota Umino. He could win the tournament. But some of you say, but J Rod, David Finlay is better. He can do. Yeah, but you're missing the other point. This is an important match that's going to happen in the finals. You're overlooking something else. You want to know who you guys are overlooking? Evil. What if he decides to get involved and cause David Finlay's match? So ask yourself, why would Evil get involved? Simple. Evil is saying that David Finlay and the rest of the War Dogs are excluded out of Bullet Club, but we know that's not true. We know that David Finlay has every right to be there, not Evil. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those angles where Evil cost David Finlay the match in order to get to that, because I feel this. If David Finlay overlooks Evil, not seeing him as a threat, then that's on him. Then Finlay is the one who has to suffer the consequences. So I would say Shota Umino could win by thanks to Evil to disrupt David Finlay's, destiny to become world heavyweight champion. But I don't think Shota Umino will win that title anytime soon. Maybe in a year or two. So we'll see about that. But if you guys disagree with me, give me your reasons why. Leave a comment down below. I know that's a part of me that thinks that's gonna win. I'm not jinxing it. I'm just saying I have that distinct feeling. So let me know what you guys think. So right now, I think we are officially done with all reviews. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. Now, I did mention earlier in the video we do not have any developments for this particular part of the episode in our news updates section. So we're just going to focus on the upcoming events. Now, as always, let's talk about GCW. Many of you guys noticed that they will be, of course, they will have the tournament survival on the 7th of June, and Dr. Redacted has been announced as the first participant. And then, of course, in July, for 3 days, they'll be returning to Japan. July 28th, they will be in Shinjuku Face. July 29th, Tokyo Square, and then finally July 30th in Korakuen Hall. Now, NWA will have their upcoming Hard Times 5 event on the 22nd of March. Damian Fenner will take on Crazy Steve. New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to the Sakura Genesis on the 4th of April. 2 title matches have been announced. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team belts. Bullet Club members Robbie X and Taiji Shimori will challenge the Ichiban Sweet Boys, Kosei Fujita and Robbie Eagles. And then finally, we have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Clark Connors will be who is the next challenger, takes on El Desperado. West Coast Pro collaborating with Big Time Wrestling for Battle of the Bay on the 4th of April. They just announced Vinny Masario will take on MVP. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup. MLW for their Battle Ride event on the 5th of April. They just announced Sfinge has been announced to participate in the Battle Royale. They did announce a match that would be taking place. Atlantis, his son Atlantis Jr., Ed Star Jr. will be teaming up. They take on Ultimo Guerrero, Barbaro Cavenario, and Magnus. TNA has announced for an upcoming Las Vegas show, Unbreakable, that will take place on the 17th of April in Las Vegas. So more promotions are participating at the Las Vegas show. Spark Lady Luck on the 17th of April in Las Vegas. As you know, some of Stardom talents have been announced. The latest one they have been announced is Shooty. So basically, a lot of Stardom will be participating. First match have been announced for the upcoming Marvelous event in Las Vegas on the 17th of April. Maya World takes on Rina Yamashita. Now, as you know, we have Kitsune Women's Wrestling, two shows that will happen on June 7th here in San Diego and June 8th in LA. And they just announced two names to participate. We have Hudson Envy, I don't know who she is, but the next one, you know her, the Pink Striker, Miyu Yamashita. So that's going to be a lot of fun to take a look at. And then finally, RevPro will have the annual Rumble event, Revolution Rumble, on the 22nd of June. And the first participant to be announced is none other than one called Manders. So that's pretty much what's taking place there. So that's pretty much for all of our news updates. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. As you know, we have NXT, and this is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. So I can't wait. And if there's any other events, I'm definitely going to be reviewing. There's a part of me that wants to do the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. It's already up and out for me to watch. So we'll see. Let's see how my day will turn out. But as of right now, NXT is the top priority. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.